Okay, so these are the cranial fossae, and this is the anterior cranial fossa, the middle cranial fossa, and the posterior cranial fossa. The anterior cranial fossa is formed by three bones: frontal bone, ethmoid bone, and sphenoid bone. This structure right here is the frontal crest. These are the orbital plates, and this is the ethmoid bone. This is crista galli, and these are cribriform plates. And through cribriform plates, the first cranial nerve or olfactory nerve passes. This is sphenoid bone. These are the lesser wings of sphenoid, and this is limbus of sphenoid. So anteriorly, the anterior cranial fossa is formed by frontal bone, and posteriorly medially by limbus of sphenoid, and posterolaterally by lesser wings of sphenoid bone. Then coming towards the middle cranial fossa, we have two canals which we call optic canals, and through these canals the cranial nerve 2 passes, optic nerve passes through them. This structure is called the sella turcica. Anteriorly we have the tuberculum celli, posteriorly we have the dorsum celli, and this is the hypophyseal fossa. Anteriorly, middle cranial fossa is anteromedially formed by limbus of sphenoid, and anterolaterally formed by lesser wing of sphenoid and greater wing of sphenoid, and posteromedially formed by dorsum celli, or posterolaterally by the superior border of petrous part of temporal bone. Then, okay, so this fissure right here is the superior orbital fissure. Yes, this is the superior orbital fissure, and through this the cranial nerve 3, 4, and V1 part of the 5th cranial nerve and 6 passes. Then we have 3 arranged foraminas. This is the foramen rotundum, this is the foramen ovale, and foramen spinosum. This one. So through foramen rotundum, the V2 division of the trigeminal nerve passes. Through foramen ovale, V3 division of the trigeminal nerve passes, and through foramen spinosum, middle meningeal artery passes. This is the foramen lacerum. Foramen lacerum, and lateral to it is this is the carotid canal. So through the carotid canal, the internal carotid artery passes. Okay, now coming towards the posterior cranial fossa, the anterior boundary of the middle cranial fossa is the posterior boundary of the middle cranial fossa is the anterior boundary of posterior cranial fossa, and it is formed posteromedially by dorsum celli and posterolaterally by superior border of petrous part of temporal bone. And then here is known as internal acoustic meatus. This is in the petrous part of temporal bone, and through this cranial nerve 7 and 8 passes. This big foramina here is the jugular foramina, and through this the cranial nerve 9, 10, and 11 passes. And then this is the hypoglossal canal, and through this the cranial nerve 12 passes. This is the foramen magnum, and this is internal occipital protuberance. This is the internal occipital crest. These are the transverse sinuses, and this is the sigmoid sinus. And that's it.